If you watch the Mario movies or just started playing the short Plumbers games, you have no idea how many princesses, kings, and queens are part of the Mario Bros. Franchise lore and could be showing up in the upcoming movies of the franchise. Princess Daisy. The biggest example of this is that, incredibly enough, a ton of fans have no idea who Princess Daisy is. A character who has a huge chance of popping up at some point in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Besides being Princess Peach's best friend, Daisy is the sovereign of Sarasaland, which is the Flower Kingdom, hence the princess's name. Daisy is Margarita, put on screen in all videos, except ENG, for example. She is more or less to Luigi what Peach is to Mario, a kind of platonic crush. And we gotta admit, the Mario brothers have really good taste. The first time Daisy shows up is in the 1989 game Super Mario Land, where she replaces Peach as the damsel in distress when she gets kidnapped by an alien named Tatanga, who takes Bowser's place as the villain in this game. But the idea is basically the same. Tatanga kidnaps Daisy, so she'll marry him. Of course, Mario and Luigi save her. And since Tatanga is a being from space and the second Mario movie, Super Mario Galaxy, takes place in space, there's a massive chance Daisy will show up even if it's in the post-credit scenes, building a bridge to the third Mario and Luigi movie. And just to give you an idea of how important Daisy is in the 1993 live-action Mario movie, which is awful by the way, Daisy is the main character, not Peach. But Daisy isn't the only royal ruler in the Mario universe we're going to show you today. Get ready because we are just getting started and we're about to blow your mind. King Wart. In the Super Mario Galaxy trailers, a small group of Shy Guys appears in the casino-filled world where Peach and Toad end up. And we also see Birdo showing up and fighting Peach. Keep in mind that the Shy Guys already appeared in the 2023 movie and were the ones responsible for capturing Luigi and taking him to Bowser. So the truth is that both Birdo and the Shy Guys aren't Bowser's minions, but actually serve another tyrant who, for that very reason, could totally appear in Super Mario Galaxy. We're talking about King Wart, who originally wasn't even a king. Wart is essentially a giant anthropomorphic frog who has a big belly and green, wart-covered skin. And he wears royal attire, including a gold crown and a majestic red cape, while also sporting sharp teeth and spiked bracelets. Because at some point, he invaded the peaceful land of the Dream World with his army, the 8-Bit Club, which exactly includes Birdo and the Shy Guys. That's how he imprisoned the local fairies. And that's why Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad need to travel through this dream to defeat him, throwing the giant vegetables, which he hates, right into the mouth of the usurper king of the Dream World. Since his lackeys will be in Super Mario Galaxy, there really is a chance the evil frog king will show his face at some point, even if it's just to get beat up by Peach. King K. Rool. While watching the Super Mario Galaxy trailers, you, just like us, must have missed an important character from the first movie, Donkey Kong and his dad, King Cranky Kong, who almost became Barbecue in the first movie thanks to Bowser. And you probably don't know this, but there's a good reason for neither of them to make an appearance in the second Mario movie, at least not until the post-credits scenes, which by the way just got leaked. That's because you might not know, but Illumination is soon going to release a solo Donkey Kong movie that will take place at the exact same time as Super Mario Galaxy. And that's where the other king we're going to mention now comes in. King K. Rool, the unhinged and cruel king of the Kremling species, which are crocodiles. He is the main arch-nemesis of the Kong family and the ruler of Crocodile Isle, constantly focused on stealing the apes' royal banana horde. He spent several years appearing only in the Donkey Kong games. However, he recently reappeared in the Mario franchise as a fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from 2018 and also as a boss in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Honestly, he and Bowser are even pretty similar, which makes a lot of people believe the two are somehow related, indicating that they might very well join forces in the very near future, which will make Mario and Donkey Kong team up again too. Prince Florian. Now let's talk about a prince who isn't a villain, but is definitely one of the characters that a lot of Mario fans really don't like very much. Prince Florian. Originally, he is, believe it or not, Peach's fiancé and future husband in the 1986 animated Mario and Luigi movie. Throughout the whole movie, he is a blue big-nosed dog that helps the heroes rescue Peach from Bowser. But in the end, with the villain's defeat, he ends up returning to his original form and revealing that he is the young ruler of the Flower Kingdom and Peach's fiancé, breaking Mario's heart into 1,000 little pieces, since, at least in this movie, he is truly in love with the princess. However, after that movie, he simply disappeared and showed up many years later in the game Super Mario Bros. Wonder, released in 2023, where he is a little caterpillar prince who teams up with Mario and his friends to kick Bowser out of his lands. Maybe you don't know yet, but Super Mario Galaxy, the movie, is full of references to the game Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and because of that, there's a huge chance that at some point, Prince Florian himself will show his face. I just hope that this time he doesn't turn into a human and stays a caterpillar, because, as a good Mario fan, I totally ship him and Peach. Here's a little tip for you. Click the subscribe button down below. That way it'll be much harder for you to miss any of our upcoming videos. King Bob-omb. Now let's talk about a sovereign who appeared in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, who is definitely going to show up in other movies of the franchise too. We're talking about King Bob-omb, who was present at the forced wedding ceremony between Peach and Bowser, and who ended up getting blown up by the Mushroom Princess, and so he died, right? Wrong. Actually, Nintendo put a detail in the scene where the leader of the Bob-ombs, who was the first big boss faced in the classic Super Mario 64. As soon as he arrives at the ceremony, he sits between two Koopas, and one of them keeps tapping his shell endlessly. This is exactly the infinite lives glitch from the Mario game, indicating that the king of the Bob-ombs is definitely going to return to the Plumber Brothers movie franchise and somehow torment our heroes' lives. King Boo, another king from the realms of the world where Peach lives, who appears in the Super Mario Bros. Movie and that few people noticed, is King Boo. Just like King Bob-omb, he also shows up at Peach and Bowser's wedding ceremony that goes terribly wrong. He is the ruler of all the ghosts of the Boo species, and has the distinct honor of being Luigi's official arch-nemesis, not Mario's. Unlike Bowser, who sometimes shows a funnier or even friendly side in some games, King Boo is genuinely evil and vindictive. To give you an idea, he takes pleasure in terrifying people, which makes sense, since he is a ghost. And besides that, his favorite activity is turning his enemies into paintings to collect. He made his grand debut in Luigi's Mansion, a game released in 2001, and this was where he flipped the classic script of the franchise. King Boo captured Mario, forcing the cowardly Luigi to become the hero to save his brother. Returning in Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon from 2013, and Luigi's Mansion 3 from 2019, always orchestrating plans to get revenge on Luigi and trap all his friends in paintings. In fact, his plans are way more elaborate than Bowser's, who just kidnaps and runs away with Peach. Since we are sure that Daisy is going to appear in the franchise, and she is very connected to Luigi, there is a huge chance that Boo will be one of the big villains of the next Mario movies, King Olly. Let's talk now about one of the worst villains in the Mario franchise, and that very few people, except for the fans of the games, truly know. We're talking about King Olly, the self-proclaimed ruler of the Origami Kingdom, and the main antagonist of Paper Mario, the Origami King, released in 2020. Unlike the other inhabitants of the Paper Mario world, who are flat paper beings, Olly is made of three-dimensional folds. He was created by the origami craftsman Toad through a magical technique called the Fold of Life, but he developed a deep hatred for all flat paper beings, especially the toads. This hatred arose because the craftsman wrote on his paper before folding it. Olly considered the act a scribble and an unforgivable desecration of his perfection, not knowing that the text was in fact a sincere wish for him to be a fair and kind king. With the power to fold reality and the creatures around him, Olly hijacks Peach's castle, converts the princess and Bowser's army into origami soldiers with no will of their own, and tries to fold the entire world. He ends up being fought by Mario with the help of his own younger sister, Olivia, who was created by the Origami King himself, who doesn't agree with his destructive plans, and even with the help of Bowser himself, who won't allow anyone other than himself to kidnap Peach. Go figure. Despite seeming like a silly story, King Olly's ending is extremely tragic and deep. Upon being defeated by Mario and finally reading the message on his body, he repents. As a final act, he allows Olivia to use his own paper body to fold the 1000th crane, allowing his sister to make a wish that will come true. Olivia wishes that all the origami created by Olly be undone, which unfortunately means that both Olly and Olivia cease to exist in the end. In other words, if Olly and Olivia appear in the Mario movies, keep some tissues handy, because you are definitely going to cry. We're wrapping up this video, but if you love having your mind blown, this is the place to be. That's why we picked 2 great videos for you to click, watch, and, best of all, keep hanging out with us.